I learned something last time we were in Germany, and that is, so actually, backstory. It's not a backstory. I'll start over. So there's this Christmas cookie called Nussecken, and they're great. I love them. They're probably my favorite Christmas cookie. They're Oma's favorite Christmas cookie too. And I learned something last time we were in Germany. If you make them big, you can eat them in the summer. So we're gonna make Nussecken, and we're gonna make them big since it's summer. So we will need butter. I guess we have to wait too.
Yes.
How much butter do we need?
175 grams.
Then we need sugar. How much sugar?
125 grams.
Okay. Okay. Hold that on the too much side. Perfect. Okay.
And do we also want to add vanilla sugar right now? That will be 2 teaspoons of vanilla sugar.
That means 1 package. Okay. What then? Well, then we mix it up, huh? Probably.
I guess so. I also have egg and flour to add.
Okay. Yeah.
And I guess baking powder.
We'll add the flour with the baking powder and the egg once we've mixed it up a bit.
$300 grams of flour.
Oh wow. That's quite a bit. How much baking powder?
2 teaspoons.
Little teaspoons or not little teaspoons?
No, I don't know. It says 2 teaspoons. Okay.
Yeah. This is probably the Americanized recipe, right?
Perhaps.
That would probably mean that they're using like those actual teaspoons that are actually supposed to be some amount, something that's not just a teaspoon. So those are more. Oh, I guess that's it. And then we mix it up. Then we roll it out, which means I guess that we have to make it into an actual dough, huh? So ever since I was very young, every Christmas my family would make lots of Christmas cookies. And I mean, lots of different varieties. And Nussecken are definitely my favorite. They're very, very different from any sort of cookie you would find in America. And so when I learned that you're allowed to make them in the summer if you make them big, I was very excited. And I think we made them pretty much as soon as we got back from Germany after having learned that. But it's only the second time I've made them in the summer, so. Which is actually probably because we haven't had apricot jam. Because the stuff from the store is just, it's not the same. And now that we have our own homemade apricot jam, oh wow, I just ruined it. That's cool. Not too bad. Now that we have our own homemade apricot jam, we can finally make really good Nussecken again. Okay. I think that's pretty alright. I'm just going to have to kind of shape it into a rectangle of sorts. Admittedly, I think you can roll it out thinner and make it like as big as the whole sheet. But I don't know, it seems pretty thin already. So I'm going to stick with this for now. Maybe once it's baked and it's risen a little bit from the baking powder, I'll regret my decision, but that's okay. What happens now?
Here, we will get how much? So we need 200 grams of hazelnuts.
I seem to recall it doesn't all fit.
It does.
It does. Okay. This is like the topping, basically. Well, it's half the topping. The other half is jam. But we need to cook it, basically, first. It's kind of like almost like a caramel. It's not really caramel. It doesn't taste like caramel. You don't caramelize it, but you do cook sugar and butter together, so that's 50% of the way there. 100 grams of butter?
Yes.
Okay, let's see how good I am. 91 grams. That's pretty close. I'll take 99.
Okay.
And then 100 grams of sugar.
Two teaspoons.
Okay. 1, 2, and 1 tablespoon of water, right?
2.
2 tablespoons of water? Wow. And then we melt it, right? It's kind of small. We need to bring this to a boil, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. You need to bring it to boil just for a second.
Okay. Bring it to a boil just for a second, and then we pour in those nuts.
When is it a good time to turn on the oven?
It takes a minute to kind of spread it all out. This has to cool. So once this is done, we'll turn the oven on.
Okay.
It is starting to simmer, and it smells like caramel popcorn, which is nice. Okay, that's it. And now we pour this in, right? Is that everything? Oh, not quite. I would say this smells amazing, but it actually smells like I spilt some of the nuts onto the hot burner, so it just smells really burnt. Now we have to let this cool for just a minute.
So now we can turn the oven on, right?
Yes, correct.
180?
grams of oven. Nice. Is that one? Probably? Okay, good. We can also spread the apricot jam, which we have right here.
The one that we made.
I don't remember how much it says we need. Oh, it doesn't
This
say.
is 350 grams.
Okay, well,
But
I'll just put on as much as I want, I guess. I think that's pretty good.
okay, and would you explain why you're not putting it exactly to the egg edge?
Well, that is because this stuff goes on pretty hard. Like it's not super smooth and jammy to put on there like that, so it will end up getting a little bit mixed up, and as I do this, it will end up on the edge. The other reason is that when it melts in the oven, it will kind of like melt and go to the edges and fall off the edges and make these lovely like sugary, jammy, crispy bits along the edge that are nice to eat. And we're ready to go in the oven as soon as the oven's ready.
Okay. And it's going to be in the oven for
I don't know.
25 minutes.
Okay. At 200 degrees. No, at 180. What's that in Fahrenheit, you think? 365. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. I just pulled this out of the oven. It's been 25 minutes. It's a little bit golden on top, which is what we're looking for. And as you can see, the topping has like melted down over all the edges. And now we need to let it cool for maybe like 10, 15 minutes-ish. And then we need to cut it up because we need to cut it while it's still warm. Okay, it's still warm, which is the perfect time to cut it. And we cut it into triangles. During Christmas, we make them small, but during the summer, we make them big, so I'll just cut it in half like this, and we'll have 2 big triangles.
Perfect.
One for each of us.
Okay, but first, are we going to cut the edges off?
That's true. We do trim the edges usually.
And I guess now the question is how big they have to be summer cookies.
Well, the ones in Germany were like this big. So like we could cut this in maybe thirds. Kind of like that. That'd probably be good enough.
I guess if we go smaller, then it's already.
And then maybe thirds like this. It's fairly square, right?
Yeah.
So we can just do it in thirds and then thirds.
I think so.
Okay, I guess I'll do it this way first.
Okay.
Cutting in thirds is maybe not my forte. Now we have 9 squares, which means we'll end up with 18 cookies. Because I'm just going to cut these in half, and that will make triangles. Just like so. Nice, huh?
Yeah, that size looks pretty good.
It's definitely bigger than our...
Christmas ones, yeah.
Now, you might be thinking at this point, now they're ready, right? We can eat them. But no, they're not. We have to let them cool all the way, and then we're gonna dip the edges in chocolate. At least maybe one of the edges. I'm not sure how we're gonna do it, but yeah, they need chocolate. That is for sure. And That's it. Nice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's time to dip the edges of the Nussecken in chocolate. And yeah, we melted some chocolate. Now we're gonna dip the edges in. These have cooled down for quite a while, so they're like room temperature, which means that the crust has kind of gotten more solid. And I think we're just gonna try doing it just like this. This side and that side a little bit. And no, maybe that's fine. Just like that. Should I try and do the other sides too? I think that might make a mess.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Like that. Or like that. I think like this. We have to maximize our space on there. Okay. The cookies are still a little crumbly and like definitely pliable. And they'll get more solid once they've been in the fridge for a minute. But as of now, they are only at room temperature, which makes them a little bit susceptible to breaking. And presto, just like that. Now we put all of the beautiful Nussecken in the fridge until the chocolate is hard, and then we eat them. Here we have our pretty cookies. Chocolate turned out very nice. Now all that's left to do is eat them.